All right, everyone, we are now in week 3 of our September videos where we're talking about books and all things books. I've covered why reading is important and different examples of things that you could have in your house for your kids to read. This video, I'm going to talk about reading attentively, and this is hard for some adults to do. So it's very important that you focus and you are attentive to what you are doing. So multitasking is a myth. Your brain just switches back and forth so quickly that you think you're multitasking, but you're actually not. And if you don't believe this, and I've actually tried this, you time yourself and you write the ABCs and then numbers 1 through 24 and see how long that takes you. And then you time yourself where you bounce back and forth. So A1, B2, C3, D4, all the way down to the end. And you see how long that takes you. And it takes way longer when you're bouncing back and forth because your brain is switching from letters to numbers. So it's the same thing when you're reading. If you feel like you're able to read and do other things at the same time. I know that podcasts and listening to books through audiobooks or something like that are very popular. I do it sometimes, like when I'm folding laundry. Just know that if you're not giving the book your full attention, you're not going to be getting as much out of the book, right? So focused attention is very important. It's important that we give our kids our focused attention. It's also important to teach them how to really focus in on something. So it is a life skill. It's very important. I use essential oils to help with that. Peppermint and lemon are in our homeschool roller that I've had my daughter put on anytime we do any kind of school, just kind of help to focus your brain in. You can practice focusing on one thing and ignoring everything else. You can make it a game for your kids, like reading a book and reading the whole book regardless of what's happening. Maybe if you have multiple kids, you could have them all read the book and the first person to look up loses and have the parents running around the house doing silly things. But you're trying to teach them to really focus on what they're doing and tune out other things, like someone walking into the room, a door shutting, the fridge opening. Those are like little things that happen in our life that don't necessarily need our attention, but a lot of people, if they're doing something and they hear a noise like that, they just look up. And when you look up, that means you're diverting your attention from what you're reading to whatever's happening over there. So focused attention is really important. It helps your brain to really dive in and focus on what you're doing. When I was teaching, there was a training that we did where we studied this whole philosophy called Daily 5, where these women created essentially this whole program that really fine-tuned how we teach reading to our kids. So the 5 different parts, they call them tasks, are read to self, read to someone, listen to reading, writing, and word work. And all 5 of those components were incorporated into the reading lesson every day. So it's really the focus of Daily 5 and really any great reading program is that the children are learning their literacy and they're also learning how to become independent. So the goal when we did Daily 5 in class was to have 30 minutes of uninterrupted reading. That means 30 minutes, you get your book and you are reading. Teachers did all kinds of creative things. They had laundry baskets with pillows for the kids to get comfy. They would lay on the floor, they could lay under the desk, whatever. If they're younger, they have a stack of books because a little picture book isn't going to take you 30 minutes to read. But the idea is you have books and you know that you're reading for that 30 minutes and you're not focusing on anything else. You're not talking, you're not going to the bathroom, you're not doing anything but reading for that solid 30 minutes of time. And it was amazing to see my little second graders, how long they were able to do that. When I was in school, we called it SSR, silent sustained reading. I don't think we ever did it for 30 minutes, but it's nice to see like how long you can go. You're obviously gonna not start at 20 minutes. You're probably gonna start at a few minutes. And I actually found on Teachers Pay Teachers a little like coloring chart that you can, it's like building your stamina. So I think it started like 3 minutes and 4 minutes, 5 minutes, all the way up. I think it went up to like 15 or something. So they can color that in each time that they're able to increase that time by a minute. So the first day you're starting with just a few minutes, and then you get all excited and celebrate that they were able to focus on their book for 3 or 4 minutes. And then the next day you say, okay, we're gonna go up 1 minute, so now it's 5 minutes. So you're just kind of slowly increasing that so they're able to focus on the book. And then I also found another free resource on Teachers Pay Teachers, and I'll drop these links in the description. It's called the Daily 5 menu. So those 5 things that I listed off earlier, the tasks of Daily 5, different options for each of those. So attentive reading and focusing on what you're doing, even not reading, just whatever it is this super important life skill that I feel like I kind of forgot about until I started really digging into reading and focusing on books. So it's something that I'm going to be more mindful of in my homeschool life. If you have any tips for helping you focus, or if you're able to read in like a busy environment, drop some tips in the comments below. I hope this was helpful.